On the plus side, we've at least been getting cheap hotels as we go hotel to hotel. You look so awake. Oh. Okay. It's only like 80 degrees and humid. It's all good. So we spent the night in the lovely town of DeSoto. We are now getting going with even more traffic than we had last night. Today we're basically aiming for Lawrence. We think we have one more day or partial day after that, and then we're on a rail trail again. The rail trail will take us about a week, and then we are hoping we are on a little more remote roads, but as always, we shall see. If you believe the forecast, the bad part of this latest heat wave is lasting tomorrow, possibly the day after. Temperature starts to drop, but it's going to be humid for at least a day after that, so more fun times. Yesterday did take a lot out of both of us. It was Sunday, and it did turn out we did 170 miles over the last week, which I think is the highest or one of the highest weekly mileages. But yeah, heat waves. And I also just could not sleep last night. Not sure if it was I ate too much too close to bed or what. But if I seem a little less energetic than usual, that would be why. On one hand, the hotels have been a relief. I mean, we're getting showers so we can kind of clean up the clogged pores from heat rash and things. I was soaking in a cold bath last night for like an hour. But we both do prefer camping, enjoy camping, and we prefer to have the hotel stays a little more spread out if we could. We have somebody treating us to a hotel down in Lawrence, and then hopefully the next day we will get down past Ottawa and onto that bike trail, and we will be in the tent for at least a couple of days. We were out of the hotel before 7 today, which is early for us. Maybe not as early as we should have been out, but again, it's just needs sleep. We don't know if we're going to have to take a midday siesta here due to heat, but our hope is get into Lawrence relatively early, have kind of a recovery night in the hotel, get a little more sleep, and then possibly leave early the following morning, just trying to smash through and get on that rail trail. Feels like we've been getting into noticeably more hills since leaving that rail trail. Out here. I cut over into a park off the side of the road, a little quieter. For the record, in retrospect, we totally should have just stealthed at that park. Lots of potential: bathroom, internet, water, yada yada. And people told me there'd be no more corn in Kansas. So this is another one of those kind of odd sections. We are actually going north through Eudora, crossing the Kansas, doing a short distance on the north side of the Kansas River, and then crossing again and dropping south. You would kind of think the trail would just continue over, but I assume it's to give us a nice view of the Kansas, which I'm all for. And welcome to Eudora, home of a reasonable coffee shop, if you believe Google. This trail needs more places with coffee shops along the way.
The coffee shop was named Zeb's Coffee House, and in addition to having really, really good coffee, it had some good breakfast food, so even taters approved.
I do like walking through the farmlands out here. The locals have been really friendly. We were sitting in the shade on somebody's yard back there and had the guy come up and just was in awe of what we're doing out here. That's actually animal control. Hopefully Taters isn't up there battling another dog. She had a bit of an encounter the other day before we got picked up by the trail angel. $12:30 and it is bloody hot. It is amazing how much difference the shade makes. We are lucky that we have at least a little bit of a breeze. Ooh, look, it's like I put Vaseline on. Gets rid of all the wrinkles and all. Anyway, Miss Disapproval Face McTater Butt back there. I came around the corner and that was actually the guy that we're gonna meet in Lawrence who's getting us a hotel. He took off some time and came and brought us cold things. So we are only largely overheating instead of totally overheating now.
I needed watermelon.
And grapes. A little before 2 o'clock. We have been in trees for a little while, which has been a relief. Supposedly we are going to be joining the levee here for a minute, but this is different. It's one way to do it. Remember kids, don't play around at rail crossings unless you are Taters the Lawbreaker. Big fan of Judas Priest. She has no idea who Judas Priest is. He sings show tunes about laws, let's say. She never watched Beavis and Butthead. Jen, you cannot call the 90s early anything. That train is stopped. Jen was trying to get me to go around the front, but we would have been on a bridge with another active track there, so we jumped up and over. And we made a friend. There's a full-on rail hobo vagabond lady on that. So we left our vagabond friend behind and jumped up and over, and now we are good to go. For the record, I was the voice of reason telling Taters no, she could not crawl under the train, which might start up at any point. And we got so excited we took a wrong turn. We were actually on the levee now for about 5 miles, which, you know, levees, lots of shade. And we were basically back to hopping shade to shade. He came by and asked if we were okay and if we need water. It's like, oh, we have water. And he's like, you sure? I've got it in my cooler. And we're like, cooler? So we have cold water. Oh, that's like hard to hold against my skin. 3 o'clock. And per my phone, it currently feels like it is 106. When the breeze is going, it is manageable. When it dies out, the heat popping up off the gravel here is pretty brutal. We've got another 3 or 4 miles into Lawrence. Our plan at the moment is meet the trail angel. He has a hotel room booked for us. We're gonna go have dinner with him, make it kind of a shorter day, cutting it at about 20 miles again. And then we'll backtrack and pick up where we left off tomorrow. It's just gonna be all around more pleasant. We'll get an early start. Because unfortunately, this heat doesn't really tail off until like 7:30 or so. This morning we were out relatively early and it was really, really nice going up until maybe an hour or two after we left that coffee shop. So tomorrow it's supposed to be another 10 degrees cooler, so that should be manageable at least. And we are trying to manage things so that we can actually stealth camp and not just jump from, you know, DeSoto Hotel to Lawrence Hotel to Ottawa Hotel. It does look like we are back into kind of the more spread out areas where stealth camping is possible. I mean, we could easily set up over here or even just at the base of the levee. I will say, if we were going to be stuck doing hotel to hotel, this heat wave hasn't been a bad time to be stuck doing it. So at least we know at the end of the day when we show up sweat soaked, we can get everything dry and kind of chill. Ottawa is where that rail trail picks up. Don't really know anything about it other than the coordinator said it should be pretty nice. Terrible lighting, but looks cool, huh?